Another night at historic Doyle Field in fall season number 1 here on Rivalry Family Media. Happy to have you along with us as boys soccer takes center stage once again. It's a grudge match. Second meeting of the season between Algonquin and Leominster. The Tomahawks, a 2-0 victory just a couple of weeks ago. We welcome you inside historic Doyle Field. Kate Robbins alongside Todd Robbins. Bill Thomas joins us in a moment. Happy to have you along with us here on Rivalry Family Media. The Blue Devils certainly are going through some pains as the way this season has developed. It's been the kind of year, Kate, where as you've looked at the numbers moving your way through the season, open year with a 2-0 loss to Algonquin, an opportunity to avenge that, as we mentioned off the top tonight. Then 2 days later, a win versus Westboro 2-1. A long layoff with the weather last week. Get into a game this week against Wachusett, important game against one of the top teams in this cohort. A 2-1 loss, and so you find yourselves at 1-2 through 3 games, having scored just 3 goals throughout this point in the season. And as you look your way through this moment in time, tonight becomes all that much more important. Still dealing with 2 key injuries to Alex Miller and Mr. Odiho as well. It's a tough situation to be in.
It certainly is, and Leominster finds itself in the midst of a cohort with a lot of parity. All of these teams are very evenly matched, and goals have been at a premium for all of the teams within this cohort of Westboro, Algonquin, Leominster, Shrewsbury, and who's the last one? I always forget. Oh my goodness, Wachusett. Holy cow. I have to remember 5 names, and I can't do it. But at any rate, goals have been at a premium all season long for all of the teams in this cohort. Not only that, it really has seen a lot of tightening up, and as you said right now, because of that, we're seeing these teams really tighten up and really go at each other hard, because one mistake can mean make break in one game.
It's the difference between potentially playing at home in a real short modified playoff format, Bill Thomas, versus potentially having to go on the road, quote unquote, throughout. It's going to be an all-important game here. At best, if you can split with your opponents, should put you somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, you know, coming off to a 2-0 loss, I believe, earlier in the season, you know, it's hard to say a revenge game, but with this small grouping, like Kate was alluding to, that you don't get very many opportunities to get back even. When you're playing head-to-head, those are the most important games. And like you said, coming to this modified format of an abbreviated playoff, we're not sure what's going to happen yet, but you want to be seeded as high as you can to draw the best opponent as far as who you might match up against. Tonight's going to be a key game. You know, we're well into the season. I think at the end of this week, they'll have a good idea where the playoff standings are going to be, and we'll see going forward. But I think we'll see a good match tonight. 2 very closely matched, talented teams. It's shown by the scores of the common opponents. I'm expecting a good matchup tonight. That early goal could be key, and it could be the difference.
Leominster, as we mentioned, 2 players out, 2 former All-State players, Alex Miller, Christian Godijo, and that's going to lead to a freshman call-up tonight for Coach Steve McCaughey. John Lima, number 25 on the roster, will get a call-up tonight, a freshman, going to get his first time with the varsity program tonight. Saw him warming up along with the team as well. And Kate, for Algonquin, they've got similar circumstance, a 2-0 victory over Leominster in their first game of the year, and then 2 heartbreakers to follow. 1-0 loss to Wachusett, a 1-0 loss at Shrewsbury. They find themselves at 1-2 as well. So they come into the field tonight desperately needing a victory to put themselves in the mix as well.
I think desperate is the word du jour. Right now you are trying to scratch and claw your way to the top of this 5-team bracket, and it's not going to be easy to do for anybody, because again, one little mistake can drop you, multiple spots, because there is so much parity within this grouping. One person I'm really keen on seeing how he rebounds from the last game that we saw earlier this week is the keeper for Leominster, Anthony my goodness, I saw Truong, and I was going to say it, and I didn't say it. Had a very good game in the last game. Had one major mistake that ends up being the key in that last loss. I'm looking for him to come back and have a masterful performance tonight for Leominster, hopefully to keep them in this game. As you said, I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. All of their matches have been all year long, and I'm looking for Truong really lead as the keeper. Keep them in this game, keep it tight, and see if Leominster can rise to the occasion tonight and get the W.
In addition to that key point that Coach Coach pointed out with the call-ups to kind of make up for the injury. Coach McCaughey noted in our pregame email exchange he's going to make a formation change tonight. He's going to change to a 4-2-3-1 instead of the 4-2. He says with one more holding midfielder, one less forward, it should allow the outside backs to come in and attack more often. Bill Thomas, if you're at a point in the season where you're desperately looking for something to go right, you try to maybe shake something up a little bit, and a change in strategy might lead to that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. If you think this is something the other team might not have seen in the past, they're not used to it, with you as an opponent, whatever might generate a little more offense. We know very few offensive chances in this game, and any way you can generate the extra 1, 2, or 3 offensive chances by changing up your method of attack, I say give it a shot. And when 1 and 2, there's really no bad ideas right now.
Okay, to change in tactical alignment, change in strategy, perhaps hoping to spark something within the team, throw your opponent off?
And a spark is absolutely right. I mean, the 4-4-2 is known for its flexibility. So if you switch that up, obviously there is something that coach wants to be able to tweak to take advantage of in the new tactical formation to try, as Billy said, on the offensive, to try to be able to generate more scoring opportunities for his offense.
Introductions going on out at midfield right now. The teams are standing astride the field as if they're ready to begin. There's still a national anthem to come. We'll have it all for you here on Rivalry Family Media. National anthem, first kick, Leominster and Algonquin soccer, when we continue here on RFM.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is now the face of the West. U.S. flag and our for the playing of our national anthem.
Four for 4 for nights here at historic Doyle Field on Rivalry Family Media, and happy to have you along with us as we get set for action. And we are underway with first kick, seconds into this one, and Algonquin trying to clear their own zone. A flying knee coming through the air there leads to a whistle to slow down the action.
And the whistles have begun.
Indeed they have. Game management has been the soup du jour from what we've seen thus far. Leominster with the shot toward net, and the whistle plays away. There was an offside against Leominster. Goal kick for the Tomahawks. Brendan McCarthy gets the start for the Tomahawks. Goal to our left, and Anthony Truong, the sophomore, gets the start. Goal to our right for Leominster.
Algonquin's goalie is quite a lean and tall human being.
Very, very tall
Very
human
tall.
being is Brendan McCarthy. Wearing the, as typical and conventional in soccer, wearing that bright standout color, not always team associated. Wearing the electric yellow lime green combination, if you will.
Todd, you're just jealous of the color combo.
Absolutely, I love the combination. I've got a pair of shoes that look just like that.
We all know you're jealous of the combo. 3 whistles already. We are what? 90 seconds
into
in.
this ballgame. Ballos will look to put ball in play for the Tomahawks with the left foot. Sends the messenger into the middle of the pie. Ball squirts loose. Truong cuts down the angle. It cuts over the end line. And it should have been a last touch tomahawk, so that should be a goal kick. Leominster puts the ball in play out toward midfield. Little shoulder action there from Halstead. Chipped around through the middle of the field.
In the boys' game, the shoulder shimmy has become a prominent.
And Leominster offsides again. This time, Dan Reed Jimenez got out in front of the pile there and gets whistled out.
That shoulder has become a prominent alternative to the header.
Once again, it didn't take the boys long to figure out how to tick around. We saw that with the quick kicks, and we're seeing it with the header replacement. Not so much in the girls' game.
That's right.
A little more polite, I think, when it comes to the rules is the way to play it. Don't take liberties like the boys do.
Algonquin loses the ball over the touchline near side.
Nice job by Leominster players that are among the field telling their players ask for space when you have these COVID throw-ins, because the opposition is supposed to be 10 yards away. So you're going to hear that. I've heard it now twice from Leominster players, ask for space, so that they make sure that that 10 yards, that COVID 10 yards is available.
And creates enough opportunity around the field, hopefully, to put the ball in play under these circumstances.
I like that communication, by the way. Proactive on the part of the student athletes, not having to wait for a coach to scream that at you.
Ball chopped down, tripped through the middle of the field. Move forward and sent to the near side. And good news for Leominster, from what I can see, I see a number 10 out in the middle of the field. That's Alex Miller. So Miller returns from injury tonight. Coach McCaughey playing a little possum in his pregame notes. Ball chipped down to the near side.
We'll
Loose ball is run down by McCarthy.
A game-time decision. That's
Indeed.
A little Belichick.
McCarthy with a full-on highlight up the left touch line. Chipped right around the midfield. Leominster tries to keep it in play, not successfully able to do it, and it'll be tomahawk ball.
Kudos to the referees already in S1 demanding that masks stay on. We've seen some loosey-goosey application of the COVID mask rule in some of the other games. So kudos for the proactive officiating, making sure that everybody's safe out there. I'm pleased to see that.
Absolutely.
I know it's certainly difficult for the student athletes. I get it, but safety first, everybody. Make good choices.
Absolutely. Ball put into play by the Tomahawks. Leominster takes that one off a side hip. That was Cupertino. Or check it, Perez. Now here's the chip in.
Ooh, fancy
Tomahawks,
footwork.
yeah, with the fancy footwork. Knocked down in front, never made it to Truong. It was Pickett who got to it.
Nice D by Pick there, cleaning up the mess in front of the net, helping out Truong.
Cupertino drives it out of a pack.
Play on,
And now the
everybody.
race to the near side. Play on signal. Leominster keeps it alive. That was Jimenez. Jimenez keeps it alive on this right touch line. And the Tomahawks now trying to turn the action, but there's a swarm of Blue Devils through the middle. Ball gets knocked back, works its way to Gilio. Now loose ball, gets out on the league. Truong comes sliding out to pop the ball up. Got challenged there by Fear, who was coming in from the Tomahawks.
Nice job by Damaris for Leominster to make sure that he was the safety behind Truong, making sure somebody was in net to help out.
Oh, and that's the key part of the circumstance, right? If you go back to the loss to Wachusett, and of course, what turned out to be the own goal,
Nobody
Truong makes an aggressive play to come out, then nobody backfills to help him out. It's one of those circumstances where then, yeah, it's an all or nothing pursuit. Either your gamble is going to pay off,
Yeah.
or you're going to end up with a goal.
And
In that circumstance, it was a goal.
the most frustrating part with regard to from a coaching staff, procedure, that's an effort play on behalf of your defense. That's just, effort. Somebody's got to get there. Somebody's got to help out. Somebody's got to clean up that mess, especially if Truong is going to come out, like you said, be aggressive on the play, needs an assist. There are 10 other bodies out there in blue jerseys that need to be helping out.
That's Cupertino through the middle of the field. Jimenez in a foot race. Ball gets sent back toward goal and McCarthy. And McCarthy will launch it down toward the midfield. Knocked down there by Booth. Booth moves it for Cupertino. Spun out of his cleats. And the whistle was for contact against Leominster. It'll be tomahawk ball. It looked like Cupertino ate it on his own. There was no contact.
You know, just to expand on your comments on down here at Goldgate, you know, that weak side defender's got to recognize that. He's not in the play unless there's a miscue. That's when he's got to be ready.
Leominster on the restart launched it into a pile. This is Miller. Got the right foot on it. Scooped on the one hop there by McCarthy, and he's able to run it out to safety.
Like a man among boys out there.
One of
Tall
the
guy.
few
My
goalies we've
word.
seen, one of the few goalies we've seen use that long highlight type toss. Good accuracy if you can get some distance.
Long, lean levers, heavy forearms, Bill Thomas. All those things certainly can help. Ball skids down the left touch line. It's Fear. And then out of play. Just for the corner and end lines, which should be a throw-in.
I like the pace, even with the throw-ins. Everything is a lot quicker. We're seeing now that the student athletes are starting to get used to these COVID rules. The restarts are a lot more crisp, and the pace, even though there are, you know, more whistles than we saw in last night's varsity girls game against Shrewsbury, the crispness a little bit better. Of course, I say that now, and now we have, you know.
Slow down as they tried to decide on a play. Plickett chips it in play there for Damaris. Damaris with the long pop downfield. Touchdown. Bonilla trying on the foot race and lost the battle at the very last moment. He went a little wider and a little more direct line taken there by Connolly for Algonquin.
You see how quick his feet were? Do you see how quick he was able to make up base and get to that ball?
Stalemate on that one between Booth and Connolly as the ball continues down. Angle to net,
Nice
punched out of the air by Truong and over the back of his cage.
Good save right there. That was headed topside.
And it'll be a corner.
COVID corner?
Yes, indeed.
It's COVID corner.
For Algonquin.
Todd's favorite part of the game.
Hawks have to chase a loose ball all the way up on that hill heading toward the upper field. Algonquin to put the ball in play. This is Fear. Fear playing catch there with Ballas. And then stripped away by Leominster, and they will clear the zone. McCarthy way out of his own goal to pop this one back to the offensive end. Played off the chest. That was Mahmoud. Back for Cupertino. Cupertino looking for Bonilla. And out into the second row, far side by Alcott. Leominster, the touch in. Bonilla worked a little give and go. Now the chip toward the pile. McCarthy into the middle of the pile and snares it out of the air. Halfway through this first quarter, 0-0, Leominster and Algonquin RFM. And there's some body contact, draws whistle. Algonquin shaking up on the play. That's Mahmoud down on the play. Referee standing over top and make sure he's all right. Get some help up. And Kate, once again, we mentioned this the other night in the battle with Wachusett. You go to the tail of the tape and Leominster loses on height and reach advantage.
Yes. We've been talking about that in a lot of different sports, especially when we play Wachusett. It's usually pretty noticeable. Tonight against Algonquin again, pretty noticeable, especially with Algonquin defenders outsizing Leominster by quite a bit. And then you put their goaltender McCarthy next to anybody, and anybody looks small.
Reaching out for it, Pham. Pham through the middle of the field. Tries to play it up forward. Booth turns the tide for Leominster. And now that's Miller. Miller to Cupertino. Cupertino looking for a connection. He'll chip it out toward the right wing. Knocked down there by Booth. Booth now through the middle of the field.
That's a nice
Chips
give.
it forward. It's Bonilla from the right wing. Strike up, and it's deflected away there by McCarthy.
That exchange, however, by Leominster, absolutely beautiful. That give to give his player a lead, to give him a beautiful shot, had a nice angle on that, and just a nice save by McCarthy.
And it'll be a Leominster corner, 8.5 to play in the first quarter. And Bill Thomas, that might be the smoothest connection of action we've had in 4 nights.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice rush down there, a nice two-player dribble back and forth, but led to an offensive shot right there. Good job by the Algonquin goalie.
We got more mask conversation going on. Again, kudos to the official. I like it. Proactive.
Rules are
I'm
the
a fan.
rules.
I'm a fan.
Left foot play in there from Leominster. They tried the double touch. Cupertino going to try to keep it alive, and the defense will pop it back toward midfield. Damaris plays it off the top of his chest, off a hip to keep it alive.
Right
Tries to cross, and nobody there. Algonquin, it was ball on through Fan. Now knocked down. Here's Fan for Mahmoud through the middle of the field. Comes to the near side, finds Kopstein. Kopstein off the head of Mahmoud. That was a natural reaction.
Natural reaction.
From an athlete. Hey, just
Here
trying
comes,
to make a play.
Headed forward to that breaking, winger.
Can't blame him there, but that gets whistled down under these COVID foul rules.
Any other year, that would have been a great play.
Absolutely.
That header forward to your breaking offensive player.
Off the double touch, it's Cupertino. Crossfield to Bonilla, and he gets spun out of his shoes by Caruli. And whistles Leominster ball.
A little size mismatch over there, too.
You'll find them all over the field, Thomas. You just need to look around.
That one came to light, about a foot height difference.
These things happen.
Indeed they do. Leominster with the long messenger across the field off of the foot of Cupertino, just out of reach. Tomahawk ball coming up, but a few substitutions over the rail. Mahmoud will come off. He'll be spelled by Padala. In play it comes. Into the hands of Ballas. And then tripped up on the play was Padala.
That's going to be a whistle.
Automatic first down.
Indeed.
Almost looked like they're breaking a basketball press there, inside and out. It was interesting how they were working that ball up the field.
Trying to work weave action through the middle there. That was Booth, played it off his shoulder. And then over the touchline, ball to the Tomahawks.
They say get it to the middle. Let your center man make that pass downfield. Down court. He's got the best look.
14 minutes gone by here and no score. Leominster and Algonquin Boys Soccer here on Rivalry Family Media.
I'm going to touch that ball in the stands and think he's helping.
No, he's
Oh,
kicking
well
it.
done, sir. Well
That is an
done.
experienced fan right
He's been
there.
paying attention.
Nicely done. Thought for sure, dollars to donuts, that was going to get picked up and that ball wasn't going to be usable. But well done to the
There's
fan.
not another ball in sight over
I was
there.
going to say, indeed.
Without a 5-minute delay.
There's the whistle for the restart.
There's another
Immediate
whistle.
contact, and yep, it will be Tomahawks again. Leominster got caught a bit in the stalemate. Looks like Fear. Fear plays it with the right foot, little curve through the box, and if there was anybody on the right post, that ball gets buried home. Nobody there coming from the right side of the field.
I hope that is the pronunciation of his last name, because that's an awesome last name for an athlete. Fear.
Oh, absolutely.
Not spelled how you would think, but great name.
Well, giving him a corner, it looks
Remember,
like.
anything you say with enthusiasm stands until somebody tells you otherwise.
We'll go with it.
But thank you for noticing.
Oh, I thought it's great.
Touch. Now Fear tried to work an angle, wasn't able to successfully do it around Andy Truong, providing the defense on the inbound. And now it'll be an Algonquin corner yet again. This is Fear working with Pham. There's the play, and it gets knocked down. Rolling toward midfield along the right touch line. Played down. Chip toward the near side. Whistle for the body contact there. Zalev got taken down, and he gets the benefit of the ball.
I don't know about that, but okay. Moving on.
Through the middle of the field, Fear tried to make the connection.
Wow.
Knocked down. A save from the seat of his pants by Truong. Puts the ball out of the net.
Told you, big game for him tonight. I'm hoping for a big, big game from him tonight. And so far, he is not disappointed.
He's stepping up.
Absolutely.
Nice clear out there by the defender, too.
He had slipped down to his backside and then used pure core strength to crunch himself up and thrust himself forward to get another foot out on that ball that was going to be coming back at him. Successful play there by Truong. 3:15 to play in quarter one, 0-0 our score, and what has been a back-and-forth, end-to-end battle right now under the control of Algonquin. But here's the foot race, and flying through the air there, cut down on the play was Gilio. He was trying to get into challenge, try to head off the attack, and he was sailing through the air.
Gilio's going to need a minute to compose himself.
He pretty sold himself on that play, but hey, he made the defensive play, but he got taken out at the same time.
Next stoppage in play, John Lima, the freshman call-up. He's going to get the call into the game. He'll make a substitution coming up here. So your first night with varsity, and you're going to see the field. That's the situation you're in. Creativity for Coach Mulcahy.
Height differential for Leominster.
Just got a little more difficult. Yes, indeed. Battle body position there, and they say Leominster had lost position, and so the ball back to Algonquin. And McCarthy will put the ball in play. Chips it over to the near side, kind of haphazardly through Connolly. Now Bonilla makes the pickoff in the offensive zone. Shot! Skidding down and making the save is McCarthy.
Dangerous
right up and
right
makes
there,
play.
boy, for Algonquin. They won't try again. That's the second time they've done that.
Yep.
The first one kind of they got away with.
Nice heads-up play by Bonilla to close that space and had a beautiful angle, but once again, McCarthy laying out and showing his skill.
Keepers on display through one quarter here at Doyle Field.
And I think keeper play has kind of been the key all season for this entire cohort. If you take a look at how low scoring these games are, you have to attribute at least some of that to some really great keeper play.
And here comes Lima into the action. He'll trot down the middle of the field, and he'll spell Bonilla.
Bonilla's taking his time.
Yeah, he's certainly not in a rush, not particularly worried about the waning moments here. And there's the whistle for the restart. Put into play by Damaris. Chipped up middle of the field, knocked down there by Truong. Truong skirts it out toward Perez. Perez through the middle of the field, back to Truong. Truong tries to make a connection to Lima. Lima on his horse going to the corner, tries to cross at point-blank range. He chipped it up into the middle of the field, lost momentum.
Do you see that match?
Chipped on there by Cupertino and out over the end line. Goal kick for the Tomahawks.
I just can't.
Are you talking about a size differential? I'm going to show it right here. There's the size differential. He was just up
I
against.
was going to say matchup to matchup here, so we'll get it right. It's John Lima for Leominster. And he is matched up there. It looked like, was that
22?
22. Thank you, Bill Thomas.
Yep.
Nick Alcock. If I had to guess, that's about 5'2", 5'3",
No, he's
against
smaller
5'11".
No, I think it's worse than that.
We'll go with that.
I thought it was a pretty good estimate.
He's adorable. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There's
but if you're a freshman playing on varsity, you're allowed to be adorable.
There is nothing more that a male athlete would adore than being called adorable.
But if there's ever a sport that a freshman could compete on this level, I think it might be soccer, to be honest with you.
And I mean, and you're
because
not
a lot
wrong.
of it's foot skills and positioning.
And
size is kind of a secondary thing.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly isn't a moot point. I mean, if you're going to get hip checked and sent into the third row, you know, that's going to be one thing. But as you said, size differential in this game, it's not the same as being an offensive lineman and, you know, and lining up against a defensive
Strength
line.
and maturity
Correct.
and size when
so
it comes to
you're right.
contact.
You're absolutely right. But it is when you're standing next to the second tallest person on the field, it's kind of like, oh, my heart. It's still my heart.
It's pretty dramatic.
A stalemate through one
I'm
quarter
excited to
here.
see. I'm excited to see what he brings tonight.
Instant opportunity to contribute.
That's right.
No score. Leominster and Algonquin through one quarter here. Mask break at historic Doyle Field, and happy to have you along with us on a fantastic night. We welcome our fans joining us from Northborough, Southborough, the Algonquin Regional School District tonight. Glad to have all of you joining us via Rivalry Family Media, of course. Happy to be a part of all of this. One of the great parts about being with Leominster High School here at RFM is obviously supporting both the fans of Leominster High School not able to come because of the COVID rules. Limited fans allowed from the home school, and then from the visiting school, no fans are allowed by a mid-watch decision. So we've been so glad to be able to be a part of helping those fans out and be able to get this video out into the community across central Massachusetts. And of course, Bill Thomas, an opportunity to feature sports that typically just have not gotten their due, just simply due to how busy the normal schedule usually is.
Yeah, I know. We usually follow the football on Fridays, and in the winter mix in some basketball and some other assorted football. We don't just follow the Blue Devils,
That's
depending
right.
on how our schedule, aligns. But we got jobs and other commitments. We'd like to cover every sport, but we're trying to branch out this year in this year of change, let's say, and modification. I had a great time on the golf course last week.
Absolutely.
Following the Leominster Blue Devil golfers around up at Gardner Municipal Golf Course. Great time. Hopefully we'll have that on for our viewers shortly.
Indeed, very.
A little more production work with that.
Yes,
but
post-production coming
two
together.
can't work, and somebody's got to edit it together. By the time
Billy,
it was
I
a
got
blast,
2 words for you, though.
and I hope we can do more of those types of sports.
Shot tracker.
Yeah, he showed me.
Shot tracer
telling you, it's
technology.
just like you see
For
on the
those of you
golf channel.
that are tuning in and joining us, yes.
Coming technology
What
to
Will
RFM.
Thomas just did, we call it as a preview. That is
Yep.
coming attractions here on Rivalry Family Media. Got a great opportunity to do Shrewsbury and Leominster golf match about 1 week ago. It is currently in post-production, 3-camera shoot. Lots of coverage up there at Gardner Municipal Golf Course, and we're looking forward to bringing you that package in. Yes, shot tracer technology will be available
Todd's
on
been having some fun.
I've been having a lot of fun in post-production.
I could have used it during filming on the camera. It would
So
have
could
helped
we
me
all.
to find the ball because it was more of a look, listen, and feel.
Yes, without a
And
doubt.
Use your
then-
senses, Billy.
Then
Use
fine.
your
Look, listen,
senses.
feel fine. But
Well, we're gonna
I
have
thought
a
we
lot
did.
of fun
I
bringing
had
that
so much
crowd.
fun that day.
The visuals are a lot of fun. Play-by-play call guaranteed to be just as fun. Tune in for that coming up in the coming weeks here on RFM. Second 20 minutes on the board here at historic Doyle Field. Again, no score, Algonquin and Leominster. Tomahawks will put the ball in play to trigger the second quarter of action. And it's Fear with the chip back, puts it into the possession of Ballas, and away we go. Tomahawks continuing left to right, Leominster going right to left here in the first half. Tomahawks wearing the road white tops, white bottoms, white socks. The maroon numerals front and back with the Algonquin shield upper left of the uniform. And then those numerals in the varsity block numbers front and back in maroon as well. Leominster wearing the home royal blue tops, royal blue bottoms, trimmed in white, white numerals front and back. The Leominster shield occupies the left chest. In this action, or check it, the numbers occupy the left chest. Leominster across the chest for the boys program. Leominster with the sweet takeaway there. It's Truong. And then Truong has his pocket picked as he tried to turn the angle. Tomahawks trying to chase the ball out of their zone. It'll work its way back. Cupertino will knock it down. Now Cupertino through the middle of the field. Chip back toward the Leominster defense. Who will knock it down there was Gillia.
There goes Lima.
And up through the middle of the field. Knocked down there. Continuing out on the run out. This is Fear. And has it steered away from him and then sent out across the touchline.
Have to see if they save that corner. Looks like they're going to give Algonquin a corner. I don't think he got it before the end line.
Yeah, before did he? I was going to say, did they
That's
cross
what he
the
was trying
end
to
line
do,
or
though.
over
Good
the corner?
effort. He's
Yeah,
trying
absolutely.
to save that to stop the corner kick. Great effort there.
Yeah, they did award him a corner kick. So from the flag, there's the touch in. Little give and go. Now the chip toward the right post and sails just wide. Goal kick, Leominster.
I set up there, had a break-in offensive player at that far post. Just couldn't quite connect.
Jimenez and Halstead check back into the game for Leominster.
And that would have been better play back in the old days. You would have chipped out to the post, and hopefully if they had headed in from there.
Bicycle kick, Bill Thomas.
Yeah.
Bicycle kick is where you got to go at the point in time. Got to get creative if you're going to
I'd
pull it out
love
of
to
the
see.
air.
I'd love to see a high schooler pull one off.
We used
In
to
the,
have somebody when we were in high school.
I'm not saying it's not possible,
Well,
but I
that
don't
was,
think it's something
Charlie
you see.
Fuentes.
Oh, Charlie Fuentes' bicycle kick. Yeah, I was also thinking about Mike Yoder with the flip throw-in, which was lives in Leominster lore as well.
Yeah, the acrobatic somersault with the extra effort on the throw, and that's
Yep.
pretty amazing to see, too.
Oh, absolutely. Back and forth through the tunnel at the midfield. Algonquin with control. Just about 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Truong has to play out. He gets taken down in the box. Coming out trying to knock it down, and he catches a knee.
gave as good as he got, though.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping everybody's all right.
There was a whistle, and then there was points in either direction. I'm assuming Algonquin's going to get challenged here. I'm assuming this is going to go to a goal kick, but Tomahawk player injured on the play is still down.
Actually, I think we're going to end up with a corner kick when it's all said and done.
Think so, Bill Thomas?
One of the Blue Devils cleared that out after the save was mishandled
Okay.
by the goal. He kicked it over the end line. I think that's how we saw that play end. Unless they call something on one of the plays for I don't know if it'll be a penalty kick or what we might have out of this. But we do have an injured Algonquin player on the field right now.
Some significant contact between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. And at an awkward angle as both were trying to play the ball, and neither was really necessarily aware of the other. Truong was charging out to play the ball that was coming at him from his kind of right, but straight on. And then meanwhile, moving its way down, the injured player who we haven't been able to identify from this angle was kind of coming in from his left in both circumstances. And I think they both just met lower bodies more than anything else as they were reaching out and bounced off of one another. Truong was able to get up, and the Tomahawk remained down on the field.
Well, I know Truong came flying out. I wonder if maybe a knee might have caught the Tomahawk player either in the stomach or in the upper body, knocked the wind out of him. You know, Truong's got the right to play that ball.
No, we have an
He's
extremity
coming up
injury.
with
Yeah, lower extremity
leg,
injury, yeah.
Got a twist. You don't like to see that.
That's a Darsh Padala. He's going to get helped off, trainer and his coach, to the near side. Don't like seeing that circumstance happen.
We ended up with a goal kick. Yeah. That's the way we're playing it.
It's going to be a minute before they're able to clear him off the field. Yeah, it was. He's not able to.
Yeah, he's doing his best, and
Yeah,
now they're
it's
going
a
to be able to
long
lift
way.
up. Yeah.
Can't put any weight on his left knee. It's like,
Yeah, left knee, left lower leg.
yeah.
And so they're going to lift him up, carry him off. Clock stops, 17 flat left here in quarter two. No score, Leominster and Algonquin. A warm hand from those present, oh ye but few. Or a Darsh Padala. We'll see if he's able to return. Meanwhile, Leominster is Truong with the goal kick, and we're back to action. Here's Miller playing the connection through the midfield. He'll chip it back into a pack. Leominster is able to make a touch on a little triangle maneuver there, but it was out of the reach of Jimenez. Lima, meanwhile, flying around, trying to find somebody to challenge.
Swarm of blue jerseys.
Indeed. And then the whistle says Hawk ball.
Came in with arms up there, kind of like a little blocker play.
And so here comes a free kick for Algonquin. Osatek looks for some advice, and he'll send a long ball downfield. Popped up, and then tripped on the play. Absolutely.
Pass interference.
Yeah, it looked like ball is kind of the old flat tire, chipped it along the ankle, and took him down in a pack. Here's the restart. Leominster zips it up the middle of the field from the foot of Gilio. I like the pace. I like that they're letting him play a little bit more here. And the whistles have not slowed the action much, even when they've had to get involved. It has made for a nice back and forth battle here.
Tempo has been good.
This one back to McCarthy. Puts a good foot into it down left side of the field.
Ooh, ooh.
There was a header there, I think, on both sides. And they might have...
Was the one that had the ball.
Yeah, stuck in the middle of that. And now the foot race over to the near sideline. Right in front of the Algonquin bench. Algonquin grabs control. Steered out of there. It was Connolly.
I always worry when you get sandwiched in like that, when you're, when you really have that everybody is so proximal in that and everybody goes at the same time. That always makes me nervous. That's where I get nervous about heading in soccer.
No question about that. Ball skips through the middle of the field. It was settled down there by Jimenez, but immediately lost. Meanwhile, Pickett comes through the middle of the action. Or excuse me, Pickett. Pickett working his way up. Chipped it up the sideline. It's a connection to Lima, and Lima gets bodied up on by Fear, and it will be Leominster. Free kick. Damaris will come up. Damaris is going to make the connection here.
I'm liking the amount of communication that I'm seeing amongst the Leominster players and the Algonquin players. Obviously, we've seen a few more instances of games with Leominster and boys soccer, but a lot better communication tonight than we saw 2 nights ago.
That free kicks downfield. Algonquin immediately turns the tide. They're going to take it back on the attack. 2-on-4. I don't like their number chances. Now the rest come flowing into the action. A nice shoulder play down there by Jimenez. Jimenez feeds it forward. Finds the connection there for Halstead. Halstead check it. Miller. Miller comes to the near side. Bonilla had to peel off the play as he was in an offside position. And so the ball settles to McCarthy, who will put it back down in play.
A little too far ahead of the play there. Had to back off. One of those soccer rules.
13-15 to play here in the second quarter. No score. Algonquin and Leominster. Free kick for Leominster. Couple of substitutes joining action. That's Houlihan for Algonquin. And he'll check in for Fear. Leominster's going to have the inbound from the corner. It's Cupertino going to work the touch with Damaris. And Damaris puts the left foot strong into up the touch line. There's body contact. Leominster free kick.
Like a handball right there, just instinctively because I'm out.
Passing 12.5 minutes here in the second quarter. Cupertino for Pickett. Back Cupertino. Crossfield finds Gilio. Gilio cross midfield. And now Gilio plays it on. Throws it through the back pocket of Bonilla. Able to stay onside. Now tries to cross, and it gets deflected down out of bounds. It'll be a Leominster ball. Look like over the end line. Should be a Leominster corner.
Leominster corner.
There's the touch. Now the play on. The race, it was Jimenez. Connection played down. Shot by Perez is just over the crossbar. It was deflected, and it's a Leominster corner.
Wow.
Huge turn of events there as Leominster will get another opportunity.
It looked like 22 almost put his hand up there to try to block the goal. He was behind the goalie. He pulled it down at the last second. But that was close on a handball in the box.
Would have led to a penalty kick. Miller works the connection through two. Jimenez there. There was a takedown uncalled. Action continues. Though, plays it forward. Works its way over to the left touchline, and Carulli. Carulli keeps it alive. Flying down the wing is Lima. Lima will turn the action and now turn it back in the other direction. Lima puts a strong kick in it, and downfield it goes. Ball was knocked down. It looked like a header, but no call.
Didn't he touch his hair? Is that it, Mike?
Mike Griffin here.
Commentary, the COVID,
absolutely.
COVID expert.
Chipping in on some of the COVID rules. He has been the COVID enforcer from Press Row here. He's got the best bird's eye view. Imagine it like the lifeguard, you know, at the ocean, you know, when you think about it. You're in high spot. You can see everything going on.
Here every day.
Absolutely. Ball chipped on Jimenez, coming out of a pack four. He'll go back to Pickett. Now Pickett with the left foot. Sends it through the middle of the field for Bonilla. Bonilla, stalemate. Ball bounces loose. Bonilla able to recover, though. Works a little give and go there off of Truong. Now Bonilla sends it into the middle. It was deflected up. McCarthy races out of goal and astutely reels that one in. 9.5 to play here in the first quarter. Still 0-0. Algonquin and Leominster in a deadlocked battle in the first half of this one.
We knew it wasn't going to be high scoring. Wow, working all by himself.
Yeah, this is Booth. Back for Cupertino.
Yep, taking on the whole team by himself. That's exactly what we just saw. Literally, Booth is out there. There are white jerseys all around him, and he's working on the whole team by himself, unfortunately.
Right in the middle of the field.
Yep.
Good footwork right there.
Couple substitutes on for Algonquin. Slows the action as we pass under 9 minutes to play here in the first half of
It's gotta be a
action.
pretty lonely feeling when you're doing that. There's nobody to help.
Yeah, 1 on 11. I don't like your chances on those numerals. This one's sent out in front of Thibodeau. Thibodeau look to center. Chuang off angle once again. Caught flat-footed. And thankfully nobody there to make the connection on the right post. It ends up out over the end line. Goal kick. Otto for Damaris. Damaris with the launch down toward the midfield. Both jumped for a header, and Algonquin committed the foul. Leominster ball.
Handball, I think. Tried to get the heads out of the way. Comes down, hits the hands.
Lose under that circumstance, right, Bill Thomas?
I mean, it's something you've done probably. You've played soccer since you were 5 years old, and it's a hard habit to break when the ball's coming at you, I could imagine.
Postcard night here at historic Doyle Field for the 4th night in a row. Half moon high above midfield under the lights at night here at Doyle Field, fall season number 1. A little COVID fall 1 season action, and happy to have you along with us.
I do worry. You've been raving about the weather so much this week. I fear what next week is going to bring for Billy and I.
Snow
when we're
park is
here.
for everyone next week. We've got doubleheader in the play-by-play department next
We
week.
do.
We've got boys soccer and field hockey action next week. Looking forward to that. And then we'll have sounds of the game coverage on the off nights.
If we can get the audio to work between Billy and I.
You two are going to be fine.
We have not had very good luck when you're not here.
We've had a greatly supportive audience who appreciates seeing the action. Here's Cupertino on the race. Races by 2 and then gets squashed in both directions, drawing a whistle.
There's that sandwich.
Great huddle there by Cupertino on the hustle play, and he paid for it physically, but got Leominster the ball.
4
Free kick.
Algonquin players chasing up the sideline. Nobody could touch the
That's
ball.
like a club sandwich.
Absolutely.
They took him down in the end.
Jimenez sends it toward goal, and McCarthy
He'll win
Reels
that
it.
vertical leap every single
never
time.
left the ground, Kate. Great point.
Well, once again, the goalie doesn't have to worry about being challenged by a header, so
No.
it simplifies his job too, as far as leaping.
I think McCarthy's going to be challenged by much in the height department.
Yeah, no question about it. Ball chipped on
Maybe
by
a-
Houlihan.
Maybe a center on the basketball court.
Sent back down by Pickett as we wind down towards 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Back and forth is Gilio. Gilio makes a connection for Booth.
As the minutes tick, I get more and more tense because we're at this 0-0 tie right now. And as we saw in the last contest here at Doyle Field a few nights ago, it's going to be that one mistake. And it just it makes me so nervous for both teams.
That one caught the flag in the very corner. Much like catching the pylon in football. That's pretty definitive. Corner kick, Leominster coming up.
That's helpful.
Substitutions. Handful in all directions. The inbound. Now along the end line, and Leominster lost it, walking the tightrope there.
That's the 3rd time they've tried to foot handle around those 2 defensive players. The first 2 times it worked over here in this left corner, something that looks like they've been working on instead of just a touch kick. Let's get past those first 2 defenders, create some open space, and then create the offense.
Ball sent back into play by McCarthy after getting a little initial touch, and Leominster drives it back down as we wind up 5 minutes to play now. That's Miller. Tries to settle it down, but settles it to the foot of a tomahawk, and that was Burns. Pickett knocks it down midfield. And now Cupertino. Cupertino, the nifty inside-out kick, moves it out to Miller. Miller tried centering. It got deflected, and the angle comes to McCarthy, who corrals and then highlights down the right touch line.
You have been a fan of the highlight reference.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if there's no 2 sports that belong together, soccer and highlight about cover it.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Booth up through the center of the field. Knocked on there. Play continues and swatted out of the air there was Truong, who turned around and was like, what do you mean? Now, I mean, in his own defense, the Tomahawk player gave up his feet as we wind under 4 minutes to play.
He just helped him out a little bit.
Yeah, he just swatted him out of the air after he gave up his feet.
He's going to fall.
Indeed. 0-0. And McCarthy
Wow.
sends it on the center of the field. That is textbook beautiful.
60
Covers
yards.
well over 6 yards. Bill Thomas, a beaut.
Right on it. Great offense no matter who you are.
And
Little disagreement.
tempers flare, and
We'll let it cool off. I'm not even going to show
no,
it.
the officials are going to call them over here. They're going to have a little conversation.
That's okay.
So this is Cupertino and Fear getting called into the principal's office over here on the near
so
side.
we'll show it now because we're having a little constructive
Yeah,
conversation.
a little constructive officiating here.
Yeah, two players that just fighting over the same territory, same real estate.
Hug it out, everybody.
Yeah.
Officials give them both the standing 8 count, and they go their
Didn't
separate ways.
see
going
any
into
card
3 minutes.
come out though,
Nope.
so that was probably
Pro-
good officiating.
No
So
Visa, no MasterCard, no American Express accepted here. Ball continues on as it's blown back into play. And Bonilla's on his horse, flying down the right
fast.
side of the field. Fleet of foot looking for a center connection, and he got steamrolled over on the far side. Officials strolling across the field.
We're going to have another conversation?
I don't know if he's looking for a conversation or if he's got something further or where the ball's going to be put back into play. And the official was stalking pretty aggressively.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the clock continues to tick during this conversation.
There's only one ball on that side of the field apparently.
As we wind down toward the 2-minute stoppage of the clock in building, the final 2 minutes kept on the field.
He's been the most impressive referee, though, that we've seen this season.
As we wind under that 2 minutes, right out of his shoes, something came flying out off that restart. And the ball back to Algonquin, goal kick. What came out? There was something plastic. Was that shin guard? Something went flying through the air. You just saw this metallic item somersaulting through the air while the ball, meanwhile, going through the uprights.
Oh, yeah.
McCarthy, again with that beautiful kick up through the middle of the field. Fades nicely to the right. Jump ball lost to the touchline, and they say Algonquin ball. It'll be an indirect free kick.
Things are starting to get a little disjointed.
The skill on display has been impressive. Jimenez gets waved back, not quite the 10 yards you would have thought. Messenger sent toward the top of the box. Looked like it was headed out of the air there, but
That's a high shoulder.
we'll say a very, very high, top of the crown of the head type shoulder as it gets steered away. Check the replay.
Middle of the cheek.
I missed it.
Indeed.
You can't check the replay.
Oh, that's right. Pickett chips it out to the wing as Leominster's bench tries to create a little energy in the building. For Damaris via Cupertino. Got to be well inside the final minute here, barring stoppage time in the first half. Ball gets steered over here to the near sideline. Leominster will have the restart for Damaris. Damaris gets the chip from Miller. Tight quarters. Miller tried to work a little backward pass on the give and go, and the Tomahawks forced back out, but it should be Leominster ball. 10 seconds is the call. Damaris for Cupertino, knocked down there, and a loose ball squirts back toward the Leominster end. Chipped up, and there's the whistles to bring the fray to a halt. Halftime here at historic Doyle Field. Algonquin nothing, and Leominster nothing. 0-0 through the first half. Speaks highly of two keepers who have had fantastic nights to keep their teams in it, each challenged on more than one occasion. Brendan McCarthy for Algonquin and Anthony Truong for Leominster. Both have met the demands when they have had to, Bill Thomas. They have both faced point-blank shots, and they have both slotted it away.
You know, for a 0-0, 0-0 game, as you like to say, you might think boring, and soccer can be boring. A lot of it can be played, you know, between the 20s or the 30s on a football field, but we've seen a very entertaining game tonight. a number of offensive chances going both ways and some aggressive play. I like the fact that the officials are letting them play. We're not seeing them being so quick with the whistles. We're seeing some challenges, which you like to see. You know, you can let them take it to a certain line. I think the officials are doing a great job tonight. I think they're becoming more comfortable with COVID rules, too, and trying to find a balance on contact and what they can let the kids get away with, but still remain some semblance of control.
Well, and I think, Bill Thomas, you've made a great point here, and we've had this discussion through the first half. I think that's been the undervalued point maybe than we've talked about. We talked about, obviously, the lack of practice opportunities, the lack of playing opportunities. It was kind of hit the ground running when this Fall 1 season began, but truly, it was a first for everybody. You're being asked to play under these rules you've never played under against before. You're asked to officiate under these rules before, and just quite nothing that you've ever gotten the opportunity to do. Now you get that opportunity. It's going to take 3 or 4 games in order to successfully be able to do that. I can see Kate and Billy are trying to find a couple of our young fans here at halftime.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
They're on the near side.
Oh, okay, I could do that. I tightened up the camera, so it might make it a little tough to move. Oh, there we go.
Few future Blue Devils.
Absolutely. It's good to see the,
I'm sure the
younger brothers and sisters out on the field.
The brothers Hool would like to see them come out for girls varsity soccer in the very near future.
We see this at the basketball games and the football games. You know, the kids are out there throwing it around.
Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I have no problem multitasking here.
First half of action in the books here from Doyle Field. Leominster 0, Algonquin 0. We break and we're back with second half action. When we come back, this is RFM.
Halftime at historic Doyle Field here on Rivalry Family Media. Happy to have you back with us here on our Sounds of the Game. Remember, you're seeing this game in same-day delay action from earlier on today at historic Doyle Field, presented with the sights and sounds just the way you would have seen them from the stands at historic Doyle Field. We invite you to continue to be a part of our family as action continues throughout the year. More information on the schedule available, facebook.com/Media Rivalry, on Twitter @Media Rivalry, as well as on YouTube, search Rivalry Family Media. Games available on demand along with the rest of this season and seasons gone by as well. Any of the action here on Rivalry Family Media can be found at your leisure on demand on YouTube. We'll get you back out to second half action as we continue here on Rivalry Family Media.
Nil-nil as we start the second half here at historic Doyle Field in Leominster on RFM. Alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for Rivalry Family Media, and happy to have you along with us. The whistle to begin play, the ball put into play, and Algonquin and Leominster are back at it with just 40 minutes to settle this one, having played to a draw through the first 40 minutes. Team change ends here in the second half. Algonquin will now go right to left wearing the road white tops, white bottoms, and the whites to match. Leominster wearing the home royal blue tops and bottoms trimmed in white, blue socks to match. They'll take it to right. Corner kick coming up here for Algonquin.
I feel like the temperature just dropped about 5 degrees in the last
Shifted
2
just
minutes.
a little bit there.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's just because of how warm it's been throughout the day, and now obviously having that radiational cooling, no clouds in the sky, heat goes out into the sky. Absolutely.
Now you're a meteorologist.
It covers a lot of different ground on this job. Doesn't apply here, but is a good meteorological term.
Arctic blast.
That one chipped into the middle of the box, wide left post. Goal kick Leominster. 1 minute gone by here in the third quarter. Strong tees up Damaris. And down toward the middle of the field. That'll take a one-hop. Bonilla tried to split the defense and rolled over the defender instead. And Jimenez will show some great sportsmanship and help Alcock up to his feet. DeShane in the restart. Right up the middle of the field. Deflected down off a shoulder there was Gilio.
The shoulder shimmy.
That was a shoulder throw right there.
Indeed it
That
was.
was a
They're getting really
perfect
good at that.
example of him throwing his shoulder into that.
They're getting really good.
Ball hops over the head of Fear. Trying to play it off the top of the chip there was Karuli. Turned on net, and the shot just scrapes the top of the crossbar. And goal kick for Leominster. That was a challenge. Strong had no clue where that one was coming from.
He had no chance to be able to get a hand on that either. That was well placed, just a shade lower, and not good for Leominster in that instance.
And
but
astutely put there, Kate. I think placement had a lot to do with it. It just kind of fired out of a pack, and then all of a sudden, because of where it was placed going through the air, it became a really difficult ball to be able to defend. Algonquin ball off the restart coming from the left touch line. Ball heads back, comes over to the near side. This is Deschaines. Near side for Alcock. Alcock has it taken away from him. Back up through the middle of the field, it's Miller. Miller for Bonilla. Bonilla floats it and lets it settle down at his feet. Now a dribble off begins as he takes it out to the near corner, and there was a battle toward the end line. Who touched it last? And it's awarded as a Leominster corner. Deschaines not happy about it. He felt he had outworked for that ball, and maybe that the last touch was Bonilla's, but that's not the way the officials saw it.
Come on, LJ!
So here comes the Leominster corner. And there's a couple whistles there to slow the action down. I don't know if that ball was not supposed to be put back into play.
Not quite ready on the reset, I guess.
That's what it looked like.
See if they try to pull this two-man game here that they've been playing around the defenders. Nope, they played it in.
Crossing shot and wide of the net.
Nice attempt there.
4 gone by in the third quarter. 0-0 our score.
I think we've already had more scoring opportunities in this early third quarter than we saw the entire second quarter.
The odd quarters certainly have led to flurries of action, because I would say the same about the first over the second quarter
Yes,
as
I
well.
agree.
And now whistles and the ball back to Leominster. Damaris will have the restart. He's working with Cupertino on the touch line. There's the touch. And Cupertino, ball deflected. They'll march down the touch line a little farther for another opportunity. Needs a little bit of a foot with this one. And yeah, we'll get that ball set back up to be put back in play. Skins winding off the clock. Damaris will tee up Cupertino again. Fake the play back, and there's the whistle. Yep. And they say back to Algonquin.
Miscue.
Sometimes you get too cute, and the ball ends up going back the other way.
That was a bizarre exchange right there, but
Indeed it was. We'll call it an unforced error.
turnover, yeah.
Booth.
Illegal procedure.
Yes, for Miller. Miller settles through the middle of the field, and the whistle will be Leominster free kick.
That was a quick whistle right there. Haven't been seeing those quick whistles so far in this game.
Coaching staff, Ken Morin, says the contact was with the foot, but to no avail. Booth to the near side for Bonilla. Bonilla gets a stiff arm, and it'll be a free kick, Leominster. Bonilla having a conversation with the official.
Waiting for the other play to send the ball, I think.
Yes.
There we go. Get a reset.
Miller looks like he's going to put the ball in play on the free kick. He's going to work with Cupertino. Miller crosses on the angle. One hop. Shot! Score! Out of the middle of the pack. It was Halstead. Johnny on the spot as the ball squirted loose out of a pile, and Halstead drove it home. Leominster draws first blood. 13:48 to play in the third quarter. 1-0 Blue Devils.
Nice job. Weak side kick in there. Right on the post. Banged it home.
You can see the amount of celebration going on because goals have been at such a premium all season long for all of these teams. Scoring one goal really can be the difference in this one. And so you're seeing that exuberant celebration. Now the pressure goes to the Algonquin side of the ball. They are going to have to start to press a little bit, and you can see the flurry of activity already. They're getting much more aggressive.
They're going to say it's a free kick for Leominster. Bonilla gets a stern talking to and a finger wag. Got a little chippy. Algonquin will put it back in play from the near side. Now chasing one, it's Ballas. And he'll hand it off. Alcock will actually pull the trigger. Ballas goes flying down the field. He'll make the connection in the open space. Here's Ballas, challenged and then stripped by Booth. Now he'll sail it out into the open space with some room and out across the touchline, ball back to the Tomahawks. Easily best game of the season we've seen thus far between these two teams. Back and forth it has gone, some great connections, some pure soccer, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, considering the the restrictions placed on the kids, some great offensive movement up and down the field. Seen the sidelines used to perfection. Some nice offensive runs, some good ball control, and then that key centering passes led to some good offensive opportunities on both teams.
In play, connection. And then lost out of play.
Leominster's goal scored by number 15, Michael Halstead. 47th minute.
Starting to have some conversations between the Algonquin coaching staff and the near side official, taking exception to the fact that what he's seeing called against his team on one end, he is saying that Leominster's getting away with on the other. And so seeing some conversation, seeing some more frustration on behalf of Algonquin.
I believe we call that working the ref gate, which, if I'm not mistaken, we're a few hours away from a political debate where people are already working the refs as well, as the circumstances may be. May see a lot of that before this night is out. 11:45 to go here in the third quarter. 1-0. The lead right now for Leominster. Remember, this game available same-day delay, as always, here on Rivalry Family Media. And Bonilla goes down on the play as he made some body contact. Two players kind of went hip to hip on each other, and then Bonilla went rolling over. And he's now shaken up on the play. He'll get a little assist up. Again, this game available same-day delay, facebook.com/Media Rivalry, 9 p.m. for every game through this Fall 1 season. Same-day delay here on RFM. Then the game's available on demand via YouTube. Search Rivalry Family Media and subscribe today. We thank a whole host of you through this Fall 1 season who have been subscribing out there on YouTube. Send it to your friends, your family, and casual fans and alumni all across the United States and the world over. So many ways to participate in these broadcasts via Rivalry Family Media, and we thank you all so very much for joining and being a part of our family through this coverage as well. This is Connolly. Sweet little give and go, work there by Ballas. Ballas into the open field. Comes to the near side. This is Pham. Sends it on net. Knocked down by Truong. And then a wide open goal mouth in an unsettled situation. And Leominster will clear it out. Everybody pleading their case on that one. No call, no whistles.
Things are really starting to get tense. As soon as that goal was scored by Leominster, things have come off the rails.
They're arguing about
Oh,
that.
boy.
Oh, and the screaming and hollering has gone out. And enough was enough, said the official who was at point-blank range.
He made that quite clear.
Indeed he
Seems to
did.
think that the goalie was behind the goal line, I think is what they're arguing, that he was in the mouth of the goal when he made that save.
In a quiet circumstance, in an empty building, there were some folks out on Main Street that heard that explanation. As we wind down to the halfway point of the third quarter, 1-0. Leominster's lead and emotions boiling over at points and certainly running high here in this third quarter.
But it's a game that both of these teams want to win, and so if you're at that goal disadvantage and you're seeing things, you're gonna get frustrated and you're gonna start to make your case known.
2 points. Want to, need to.
Yes.
This could very much be the difference with these two teams running at 1 and 2, both coming into the night.
Yep.
going to 2-2 could be the difference between having to travel under these COVID protocols to a playoff game versus getting to play in your own building.
Well, and because the season is so truncated, every single game as your season elapses becomes that much more important because we talked about it in the pregame. There's so much parity in this cohort of 5 that it's one of those, like on any given Sunday, on any given day, one team could win, another team could lose, and there's so much jockeying back and forth for position. If you want to be able to go quote unquote deep into the playoffs, have a deep playoff run, your seeding is going to be absolutely integral. Not necessarily because you're going to get a ton of fans because they're so limited in the number, but familiarity with your site, not having to travel, not having to deal with, all of the ifs, ands, shoulda, couldas, what do we do in this situation? It becomes very important.
Trying to find
A player picked up the ball, returned it, made him put the ball out of play, and we had to go looking for another one.
Need to get a ball disinfected there, so that will get sprayed down by Athletic Director Dave Palazzi, and they'll find a fresh ball and put that into play. While we were having the conversation, seat exchange there by the freshman John Lima, his first action of varsity squad tonight, working back and forth with the All-State veteran Alex Miller. They had a nice exchange. It ultimately lost the ball out of play, but it was a nice exchange. They just couldn't quite get themselves moving. Meanwhile, back to action, cross the field far corner, and the ball lost over the end line. Algonquin pushing the issue, and this one lost a play off of a Leominster touch. Should be a corner for the Tomahawks.
Bonilla giving instruction to Lima on this near side. Nice job by the veteran players on Leominster to really try to coach up the freshman and try to get him prepped in the waning moments here. 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. You can feel the tension building.
Give and go, work through the middle. That was swatted down by Damaris through the middle. Now the ball bounces loose. Finds its way to Jimenez. Jimenez over the head of Lima. He's racing to the sideline and can't quite get to it. But a great hustle play there. Sometimes, Kate, when you get that new player joining the action, sometimes it just brings about that little spark, that little something special that might help pick everybody up.
That does happen.
Clean ball put into play.
A lot of communication out there. You can hear a lot of conversations between players on their teams trying to really iron out the strategy. Oh,
and there's a play on signal. Nobody was in the general neighborhood. So the difference there, working a 3-man game with 2 officials out on the field playing this push-pull game, there's nobody on top of that play. 2 players come barrel rolling over the ball. There's nobody there.
Nobody within 50-plus yards of that play.
That's a great point, Kate. The official on that end of the field is 60 yards off the ball, working other sideline, 60-yard wide football field. Meanwhile, like you said, the other official, at least 45, 50 yards off the play, working midfield with the ball down the left corner at the 10-yard line.
I mean, right now, he's on the opposite 35. So that's 65 yards away from that call. I can't see that.
No doubt about it. All you see is box rolling. Lima tried to settle it down. It ends up on the foot of Mahmoud. Now on the near side, it's Pham. Pham tries to find a connection out the right side, and the ball will roll play Tomahawk corner.
Coach McCaughey urging, imploring his athletes to keep up the energy, saying that they're flattening out.
And you can see the Tomahawks are really pushing the issue here. They've
as
grabbed
soon as
control.
as soon as that goal scored, you absolutely saw that shift, not necessarily in momentum, but that shift in the energy level.
And so an urgency as well, and Leominster deflects it out of the box and again out of play. Another Algonquin corner coming up here. Down toward the 5-minute mark of the third quarter in a 1-0 Leominster lead. Cross and no connection there. Lost out of play. Caruli was nearest to it, and it was just a little long of his left foot. Goal kick Leominster. Under 5 to play here in the third quarter. Truong. Touch for Damaris. High fly. Bonilla off the chest. Onto Lima's right foot. Taken away from Alcock. But then brought down by Booth. Booth through Lima. Out to Bonilla. Bonilla into the corner. Bonilla makes the connection. Gets it right back. Now it's Miller. Miller working with Bonilla. Still pop-up on the ball. Alcock and Bonilla in the battle. Alcock goes down. Bonilla still with possession. Bonilla through Lima and lost back out toward midfield. It's Fear. Fear now in a race for Booth, and smartly chipped out play by Gilio, who recognized that the action was going the other way.
You know, much better foot skills right there than getting knocked down, getting up, maintaining possession, and making 2 more passes and 2 more foot moves after that. I mean, there's some great ball skills right there.
I think we've seen probably some of the best ball skills built up we've seen all season in this battle tonight. A tactical battle on both sides and an opportunity to show some talent on both sides as well, with just enough of a loose game while still playing well officiated. Here's the battle. It's Miller. Miller takes it away, trying to make his charge to goal, and he gets taken down, and no call. No call on the play. Both officials are upset. Both teams are upset, and no whistles. There's been no decisions.
Now, I implore both of these teams of athletes just to kind of back off for a minute, because this match is so close. If you mouth off, if you say something, if a card comes out, that's going to be problematic. So kudos to both teams right now backing off. I understand the frustration. Conversation right now going on between Connolly and the official.
The officials disagree on the play, but after a conversation, goal kick, Algonquin. Tough circumstance there. Ball deflected down out of play and back to Leominster. 2.5 to play here in the third quarter, a 1-0 Leominster lead.
Yeah, you talk about the aggression picking up on Algonquin's side, but you wonder if this will lead some offensive opportunities on the Blue Devil side. Make some long passes, catch Algonquin pressing the offensive end.
Certainly got to think about it. That one taken down on a shoulder by Connolly. Now Connolly gets an opportunity on the foot. From the left foot, and now a player down. And Truong made contact there with Connolly, and Truong's getting back to the principal's office. And now we're going to pull a card out, and a yellow card has been signaled against Truong. Odd circumstances there. Halstead back into the game, and coming over the near sideline is Andy Truong.
I think the player laid on the ground there a little too long for dramatics, but he
Got the
get a
result
call.
he wanted.
He did get a call.
The flamboyance is certainly some part of this sport, unlike others. That is one of the things in soccer that is always widely talked about in coverage. This one, a pop-up. Truong was out of play, out of his goal, and then knocked out of the air and into the net end. Truong, 2 games in a row, gets caught out of his net being overtly aggressive, had no backup behind him, and lost this one into the net once again. Barely a touch had to be made. Fear, and the ball just rolled on and trickling across the goal line to bring us to 1-1 in the waning moments of the third quarter.
Yeah, looked like I think 14 is going to get credit for the goal, but that ball was deflected slightly by the goalie and just left laying there for a quick touch. Ends up in the goal for Algonquin.
Unconscionable circumstance, and the second time this week, and you can see it. Coach McCaw, he pulled up a folding chair. You can just see the palpable frustration, having been in control with that 1-0 lead, having broke the seal on scoring, and now being stuck in a 1-1 tie.
In the waning seconds here of the third quarter, as it is too.
Tough circumstance there. Whistles all around.
That's the quarter.
Looks like there's going to be one more.
Nope, not quite.
Yeah, they're going to continue. We are in stoppage time, but
stops.
they're going to give them one more opportunity at least here for Alcock. Creating the 10-yard buffer. Here comes Alcock with the chip. High fly. A jump. Nobody able to play it. And it looked like the signal is...
Oh, still got some time.
Corner.
Looking at the clock.
No, goal kick. Algonquin lost it over the end line. So Leominster will try to play it downfield. And then as the ball comes sailing across midfield, there's the whistles to stop play. 3 quarters in the books from historic Doyle Field. 1-all our score. The all-important 4th and final quarter when we come back. This is RFL. Back to historic Doyle Field in Leominster, getting to start the 4th and final quarter coming up here. Both coaches animated in their conversations with their teams, and you could certainly hear in the conversations. The next few minutes could make all the difference in the world of the way these seasons are going to pan out. There is not much soccer left to be played in this COVID-1 fall 2020 season, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, I mean,
let me try that again.
these last 20 minutes of this game here could really make a difference in the outcome of either team's season here. Break away from that under 500 pack to get above or even at 500 could put you in a much better position come playoff time.
Algonquin controls the restart, and 4th and final quarter underway. This is Pickett. Pickett plays it down, continues on through the defense of Sedzia. Pickett works the go along the sideline with Halstead. And Halstead has that one just out of his reach from Damaris. "30 seconds gone by here in the 4th. 1-all our score. Trying to find a clean ball. This one comes over to the near side, and we'll get a fresh ball put into play. There's the whistle to begin playing back to action. Back and forth we go. Bonilla will pick it up through the midfield. Bonilla flies through the defense of Deschaines, but loses possession of the ball. Gets driven back downfield. Looked like Thabodeau. Ball spurts across the front of the goal mouth, and goal kick. Truong plays it to Damaris. Damaris sends the long fly. Deschaines plays it down with the left foot. And now into the control of Pham. Pham works it out to the edge. Knocked down by Deschaines, who turns around, and it's right there on his doorstep. So he'll send it back downfield. Jimenez battling Connolly out along the touch line. Leominster ball.
You helping out with the point? Saw that.
Yeah, going this way.
I saw that. Oh, mask violation.
And there's a reminder with a mask. Connolly, now they're going to reset the distance. Whistle to begin play. We continue. Miller to Jimenez. Deschaines slings it back out toward midfield. Booth trying to settle the action. Perez pirouettes through to move the ball down. Halstead chips it for Miller. Miller, nice dribble action. Frees up and left foot shot. And wide of the post right. Goal kick Tomahawks.
Always amazed when you see the off foot be able to be that strong. I would never have the footwork capability.
Deschaines. Up the left sideline. Miller.
Needs some help. Needs some
Yeah,
help.
looking to find a connection. He got dropped down on the play. And it's Bonilla. Miller face down on the turf. Bonilla and they're going to stop play as Miller is down the middle of the action. Stops the clock with 16:53 to play in the 4th quarter, and teams locked up at 1-all.
How come soccer players don't take a knee when there's a soccer? You know, all football players, everybody takes a knee. Soccer players don't do that.
In the game
during an injury.
Well, see, in the game of soccer, Bill Thomas, played at a higher level, whether you're talking about World Cup, Olympic, MLS, they play right on 3 injuries.
Well,
they
until
scrape
there's
them
a
over
whistle.
to the sideline.
Yeah, they do. Sometimes they drag them off. to his natural progression and stoppage.
Indeed. Cupertino races, takes the shot into the basket of McCarthy.
Ooh,
McCarthy
that was a little,
kind of shanked that one a little bit on the restart, almost into the possession of Bonilla. Miller, nice sight line, found Jimenez, the shot. It was wide of the post, but McCarthy laid out and made sure he had control of it.
Have you noticed since Algonquin scored, pace settled right back down? You're not seeing him push quite as much, not as aggressive.
Great arm strength there from McCarthy. Got it out to midfield. It was trapped there by Caruli, and Caruli used the hands to tug on Bonilla. Ball back to Leominster. It is a direct free kick as Coach McCaughey reminds Cupertino. He will pitch it downfield, and McCarthy gracefully through the middle of the pile, snares out of the air. Downfield. That was Churn. Churn had it taken away by Damaris, and then contact Algonquin ball on the foul.
Lots of legs getting locked up in those situations when you have 4 people.
And there's an Algonquin player down behind the play.
He's not getting up. No, stay
Now
down.
he tried on a couple of opportunities there, but not able to quite
Cramp.
get up.
Yeah,
Is that a cramp?
quick work on a cramp by a teammate over there, it looks like.
Nice job by them. The goalie started to run right over, and his teammates came over
It's,
to get the cramp taken
it's
care
the
of.
second time the goalie's come out close to midfield to check on one of his injured defenders.
And he's certainly not afraid to travel, is McCarthy. This end of the field, whichever end he's defending, tends to be his. Great faith and command of the field.
He's a senior. You can.
I'm going to put him in the leader category, too.
Yes.
He's out there
Without
checking
doubt.
on everybody.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, you can just see that by his actions on the field.
Senior captain.
They tried to work that cramp out. It doesn't look like they've been successful. This was Zalev.
Todd, you would say, it was rather warm today.
It is.
People
Hydration.
didn't hydrate properly.
Hydration, hydration, hydration. The sneaky warm feeling of a fall day.
Well, and the amount of miles that these guys put in a game. I couldn't even fathom doing this amount of cardio.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So here comes the restart.
Everything about my physical makeup and soccer just don't jive. Nothing about me, unfortunately.
I've seen the family photos. You were a soccer player. Ball bounces down between the 2 of us. You were the one that played soccer. Maybe between the 3 of us. Bill Thomas, do you remember? Did you
No,
play
I
soccer
didn't
as a
play
kid?
any soccer.
Yeah, this was not for me. The person with the most on-field soccer experience, that's you, Kate.
And coaching experience. How sad is that?
That's true. That's
A
a
year
fact.
of JV soccer.
Oh, wait,
coaching.
Mike wants to get it. Mike says
Mike
he's got
played
some
soccer.
experience. He's played soccer.
Oh, okay, then I'm done. I bow down. I bow down.
Wow. Wow, Mike played 4 years through high school, he says,
Wow.
and 2 years at community college.
Yep, winner,
How
winner.
about that? Yeah, he definitely wins for experience on this conversation.
Well, he shows his expertise over here
He
from
does.
his sideline critiquing and press
More
box
often than that,
coaching
he's
and
just-
rules interpretation.
He's critiquing us as saying,
Exactly.
you people don't have a clue.
We've got a couple of looks.
For those that are familiar with Statler and Waldorf from Muppets,
That's
that's
what we're
kind of that
dealing
whole
with.
deal. He just, he chips from the balcony.
He chips from the balcony, he looks at us and goes, you're volunteering your time.
Ball launched out of play over the top of the crossbar. Goal kick, Leominster. Truong will put it back into play.
I have been making attempts to watch soccer and field hockey
Indeed.
in the fall, and yeah, just apparently I'm not catching up on any. Apparently none of it is sinking in.
There was a push. Connolly made a nice play out of the air with his foot, but unfortunately had to make a connection to lean off of somebody in order to do it.
That happens. Give me a boost, buddy. Give me a boost.
Cupertino slipped it right back into play there. He's trying to take advantage of the team not paying attention as Algonquin was kind of casually moving to the 10-foot distance.
Amazing the difference in tempo, though. Amazing. Like you said, very casual right now.
And through the middle of the field, knocks it out of the air, does Alcock. And he'll start the run out. Moved it forward off the foot of Caruli. Caruli moved it forward once again. He was looking for Sedzia. And now there's a battle. Locked up with a tight one along the touch line there. Cupertino somehow comes out with the ball.
Wow.
That's work right there.
We've seen him show that, working the sidelines all game, though.
Work yourself out of a jam right there.
Bonilla has it knocked down initially. Stays on it with ball is, and then there's a whistle. And it'll be a Leominster kick.
I agree with Algonquin on that one. That one was a little bit ticky-tack compared to what we've been seeing, you know, not called out there. I agree with Algonquin.
Picket fence setting up in front of this restart. Miller's going to have to launch it over the top of a pile. He decides to hand it off for Jimenez. Jimenez will take the left foot shot. It's got the wrong curve over the end line. Goal kick for Algonquin.
Jimenez there was not expecting Miller to push that one quite that far to his left. So had to do a little stutter steps to be able to reline it up, and unfortunately off the mark, off the left foot.
Ball gets put back in play through the middle of the field. This one, ball is off the foot of Mahmoud and out to the edge.
Your pronunciations are impeccable.
I'm doing my best.
I don't know if any of them are right, but
Nonetheless, ball through the middle of the field.
ooh.
That was Carulli. He mixed out nicely there to keep Booth out of the play. And then it was Pham and out across the touchline. Leominster throw. Down to 11 minutes here in this one. Shades of a 1-1 draw develop here as Leominster puts the ball back into play.
I knew you were going to say it, Todd Robbins. Why would you go there?
It's what we're looking at thus far.
We got 11 minutes
Yeah,
left.
but the story dictates how hard and how long it took to get us out of a 0-0 draw. And now working our way to 1-1. Leominster enjoyed a lead for minutes. And then
Yeah, for 10 minutes.
draw even Algonquin, and nobody showing any signs of being able to really take command of this one once again.
I don't think either of these teams are going to be satisfied with a tie tonight. I think we're going to see one goal.
Well, we'll see where we're at in the next 10 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Great night for soccer all around and a beautiful night here at historic Doyle Field. Great to have you with us participating in this one wherever you are. Leominster, Fitchburg, Northborough, Southborough, wherever you are all across North Central Massachusetts or around the world, streaming facebook.com/Rivalry, Rivalry Family Media. Happy to have you with us. Todd Robbins alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins. Happy to have you with us again tonight for this one. Game available on demand. Search YouTube and subscribe to Rivalry Family Media. This is Booth. Booth with the touch on to Miller. Miller draws the ankle and got the shot right into the hands of McCarthy. McCarthy saw it all the way. He had good angle. This is Fear. Fear runs over a Blue Devil in Damaris, and Damaris gets called for the foul. And Pickett was looking for an explanation. Had a conversation with the officials. As we wind down toward 9 minutes left here in the fourth. Alcock will put the ball in play on the direct free kick. Toward Truong, high and over the back of the net. And not by much. Substitutes into the game for both teams.
Telling you, these teams want it. One of these teams is going to get a goal. I've decided.
Which one? Haven't decided that yet?
I haven't decided that yet.
Pulling out the old magic 8-ball from the 80s.
Want some
Sources say no.
What do you know?
Powers of observation. That is all.
We just had two potential scoring opportunities, one on either end of the field, and you're bringing the magic 8-ball and say sources say no?
Indeed.
No way.
Through the middle of the field.
No way.
Touch Connolly with it, and then the whistle and Algonquin ball. Deschaines will put it back into play. Downfield, right to Truong with the fair catch in the box.
That was one of the more nerve-wracking shots because that was similar to what we saw the other day with the own goal. Mike
Miller.
saying no.
Miller took it off the nameplate. Bonilla for Miller. Miller looking for Lima. Lima got buddied off the play. Ball pops to near touchline. Algonquin ball. Kopstein. Stop start. Found a connection. Through the open field, Mahmoud. Down the field it goes to Vroman. Vroman looks to cross. Side of the cage. Goal kick Leominster. Under 7 to play here in the fourth quarter. 1-1 our score. Oh, they say there was a deflection. Nice pickup there by Mike Griffin. And so it will be Algonquin corner. Coach McCaw, he calls out to his team. He wants pressure on the first pass. They got some space into the middle of the field. Pop up off of deflection of Cupertino, and Truong again able to get underneath it. That's one of those, Bill Thomas, like you were talking about a little while ago, that would have been headed down when the ball popped up off that initial contact.
Yeah, I mean, it takes away a big part of those corner kicks and what kind of offense you can generate off them. Probably the biggest part of the game that's being affected when you can't use your head in the box, because that's one of your biggest weapons.
The foul was signaled against Algonquin, and so it will be Leominster ball. Down to 6 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Gilio sends it downfield. Pop up on the play, Lima. Lima chips it down to Bonilla. Now Bonilla gets out in front of a couple of mocks, tries to cross, and he got pushed down in the box. And they say no. Algonquin ball.
No call. Tough no call right there.
Coach McCaw, he reminding Bonilla he needs the mask on the restart. Last thing you want to do is end up with some kind of a COVID foul in this circumstance. Down to 5 minutes to play here in the fourth. Launched down the middle of the field, Connolly. Pick, pop up off the chest. A second time. And then body contact by Fear. Ball back to Leominster.
Cupertino barking out instructions to his teammates.
Indeed.
I believe in English and in Spanish.
Through the middle of the jump ball. Bonilla may have caught a cleat, but he gets called for getting up underneath the defense. Aaron Alcock.
Two players getting tangled up there.
And McCarthy's going to stroll out, got the stronger leg on the restart. Should be able to push this one farther down. 4.5 to play here in the fourth. Jump ball, push from behind this time with the forearm from Pham. Back to Leominster we go.
Coaches for Algonquin not happy about the decision making there, giving up possession of the ball on silly mistakes.
Gilly's going to work with Pickett.
It is interesting that you can hear just about everything that's
More
being
often
said.
than not. It is worth mentioning. Ball upfield.
Our microphone's probably picking up all it too.
Bonilla with the one hop. That was Perez, and Perez sends it across the touchline through the Leominster bench. Back to Algonquin. Under 4 to play here in the fourth, and a 1-1 tie. This is Connolly trying to work to the open side of the field. Makes a connection there for Ballas. Ballas through Alcock down that side, and out of play. Ball back to Leominster. Deshays will give chase. Or check it. Damaris give chase. The inbound. Leominster looking to avenge a 2-0 loss, to Algonquin earlier this season. Right now, in a 1-all game.
This one is halted to a screeching.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the
quicksand.
momentum kind of came out, and I think, Billy, you're
It's almost like
absolutely right
beach, playing on a beach right here. Players have slowed down, not as aggressive.
Perhaps starting to see some of that cardio catch up with them, not being as, in shape through the year. And players trying to just work their way through this fourth and final quarter. Take it down out of the air there smartly by Giglio. And now Pitt. And now Cupertino through the air. Right back down. Indeed, it does look like paddle to paddle over the midfield net, if you will.
I feel like I'm following a tennis game.
Indeed. Loose ball. Ballas battling with Bonilla, and Ballas will be called for warding him off. Miller, touch on to the near side. Cupertino. Nifty step through. Comes down to the near side touch.
Need some help.
The stop tries to split the defenders again. That's not going to work every time. As Miller will work to Perez. Final 2 minutes of this fourth quarter plus stoppage time. That is all that remains in this 1-all game. Leominster, you can see the urgency suddenly. Bonilla for Lima. Lima with the opportunity, and the ball never makes it out of the pack. Algonquin still trying to clear the zone. Lima was able to knock it down. This is Miller. Miller with time.
Nice play.
Finds Mia. Bonilla off the end line. Kicks it off a shin. Rolling toward the touch line. That is still in play. Bonilla goes down over the top of the ball. And the whistle, and I believe
I think Leominster's going to get it.
It's going to be a Leominster corner.
No,
direct
no,
hit.
it wasn't out of play. It was a tackle. It was a takedown there. We got 2 balls in play. Maybe we can score now.
I was going to say, we're going with, yeah, no question about it. We're going with that pinball thing we were talking about last night in broadcast if you joined us. Ball put into play. Popped up in the air. Battle ensues. Caruli runs through the pile. Zips it up down into the free part of the field. There is a foot race. Racing down there is Giglio. And he steered it toward the touchline, out of play. Algonquin ball. Officials waiting on this one. Waning seconds.
A lot of standing around.
Yes,
time
indeed.
winding
A
down.
lot of time coming down off the clock here. Centering. Out of the air! In stoppage time, a strike!
So what do you call that? A half a bicycle kick, I think, right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a
We were talking
waist-high
about
strike.
that. Wow.
And all the way down, all of the members of the Tomahawk on the field. McCarthy comes out of the air and celebrates as well.
Wow.
Hey, Todd, there's a goal.
So much for the
Indeed.
crystal ball.
So they give the
But
credit.
that
Vroman
was
gets
such a
credited for that
spectacular
one.
goal right there.
Without question.
Might be the goal of the season.
Leominster now with serious urgency. They had a 1-goal lead, then they allowed Algonquin back in, and now a 2-1 deficit in stoppage time. Shot wide of the net. Goal kick for Algonquin.
Trying to get another ball in play as quick as we can here, but Algonquin in no rush to reset.
Certainly no need to rush if you are in the lead.
Can't be much time left here.
I
Gotta be
gotta
under
imagine.
30 seconds.
It's the hard part about it not being published in any way, shape, or form. Connolly rockets one long down the field. And there's the whistles. This one is over. A stoppage time comeback victory, and the Talks have taken 2 from Leominster this season. And this one in the waning moments, and the celebration ensues. Leominster takes the 1-0 lead and then 2 unanswered goals. The winning strike comes in stoppage time for the Tomahawks.
Quite the finish to a very exciting game. But it took a great play there, and I'm going to put that goal in the great play category. We were joking off air about bicycle kicks and
Absolutely.
how difficult they are. I think we saw about as close to what we're going to see a bicycle kick here at the high school.
Able to use the foot and kind of treat it like a whip right there at waist height. I couldn't even get it up, Bill Thomas, to demonstrate it in this conversation. But
Yeah,
I mean,
please don't hurt
that's
yourself.
that's the ability. I mean, that kind of flexibility. See the ball come out of the air, make the connection with the side of the foot, and drive it home. Truong did not have a chance. He played phenomenally tonight, and unfortunately, he's on the wrong end of this one as well.
Disappointing loss for the Blue Devils, but they played very well. I mean, you hate to say if you could take anything good out of a loss, but they really have nothing to hang their head about. They played hard. A lot of great offensive opportunities, just could only put one by the keeper and end up on the short end of a 2-1 loss.
Algonquin evens their record at 2 wins and 2 losses. Leominster falls further into the pile, now 1-3 in action here in this cohort, Bill Thomas. This is one of those moments where, Leominster is going to need to summon some victories here to get themselves into a better position, obviously going into the short, very limited playoff.
Well, playoff, a tournament, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not even sure what the format's going to be, if it's going to allow everybody and, give the top team a bye and, 2 play 4 and kind of balance it out like that. But, Leominster they're playing good enough to be a playoff team. If their record holds back, it'll be very unfortunate.
No question about that. A great battle here tonight. Glad to have had this one for you here on Rivalry Family Media. Same day delay, 9 p.m. on Facebook.com/Media Rivalry. You want to see this one again on demand? You can join us on YouTube on demand. Search Rivalry Family Media and subscribe. Bill Thomas.
Late-breaking playoff information,
Yes.
Courtesy of Mike. At the end of the season, 4 is going to play 5 to then balance the playoff, and then 1 will play the winner of that, and 2 will play 3.
So on down the line. Leominster certainly at a 1-3 record, more than halfway through this 8-game season, certainly going to be looking at being in that 4-5 matchup. The battle will come. A lot more soccer to be played, and we'll have it all here for you right here on Rivalry Family Media. We thank you so very much for being a part of our family for the 4th straight night, 5th and final night of this week here on RFM. Sounds of the game coverage tomorrow. Field hockey back here at historic Doyle Field. We'll have that one for you as well. Billy and Kate will be out here to bring you that Sounds of the Game coverage on same day delay tomorrow at 9 p.m. as well. Once again, we thank you so much for being a part of our family on this one. Once again, the final score here from historic Doyle Field. Algonquin 2 and Leominster 1. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins. Until next time, so long, everybody.